Hello everyone, this is Eswar Kumar. So in these classes, we are going to discuss about world geography, Indian geography, and relevant to the syllabus of. We are going to cover relevant to the syllabus of UPSC, both prelims and mains examinations. Clear. So here, in this class, I will discuss about the most important terminology which is relevant to the geography. So that it is like a basics and introduction to geography class. Clear? So coming to about myself Eswar Kumar, Faculty of Geography and Current Affairs. So dealing these subjects for UPSC and have experienced more than 11 years in working with Delhi-based institutions and Hyderabad-based IAS academies, and also working with the TV channels like TSAT, which was belongs to government of Telangana, and you know that one more channel is Sakshi TV channel. So, and this is about myself. Clear? And coming to my educational background, I have done BTech in mechanical engineering, then MSc Geography. So my PG subject was MSc Geography. So with that vast experience, I'm going to deal these classes for you guys. Okay. So let's start. So before that, let us discuss about what is geography. So what is geography? Like geography, I can write it as geo plus graphy. So it was like geography means nothing but geo plus graphy. We can write like this. So geo means like it was like the earth. Geo is nothing but the earth. Now coming to graphy, graphy is nothing but the description. We can write it as the description. It is a meaning, a description. Like geo means the earth and graphy means the description. So this word was taken from Greek language. It was like a Greek language. So this is the word belongs to Greek. So finally, if you merge this geo plus graphy, we will get the word called the description of the earth. I can write it as I can write it as description of the earth. In the other word, we can write it as the analysis of the earth, a description of the earth or analysis of the earth. Clear. So, under this geography, we will study how the earth was formed, what was the evolution process of solar system, what was the evolution process of sun and various planets. To know about this evolution process, we will discuss the most important theories. Like what was the theory? Like we will discuss the most important theories like Big Bang theory, planetesimal theory, so nebular theory. So all these theories we will cover in this uh, to know about evolution of our solar system, Earth, and various planets and other celestial bodies. Clear. And at the same under geography, we will study about how oceanography, how oceans were formed, what were the present, what were the oceans that were there as of now on the Earth, what is the reason behind the formation of oceans, and what is the salt content, where we can find the highest saltwater oceans on the earth and least saltwater bodies on the earth, and what is the reason for the change of salinity of these water bodies we will cover. Clear. And also we will cover the floor of the ocean. The floor of the ocean, we will see the bottom topography of the ocean and what were the landforms that were present in inside of the oceans. That all that information we will cover. Clear. So, and one more chapter is there that is known as a climate, like climatology. So, under climatology, we will cover about how the atmosphere was formed. So, how the evolution of climate was happened, and what is the difference between climate and weather? What is the difference between climate and weather? Clear. So, all that information I will cover under climatology. and one more chapter called biogeography. Under that, I will cover soils of world. So under these, I will cover different soils, like which was classified under classified by USDA, United States Department of Agriculture. It has classified these soils. So we will cover these soils as well. Clear. We will cover the soils as well. So then after that, we will come to India part. So here, with respect to India, we will see physical setting of India, means like where our India was located and what are the theories relevant to the formation of Himalayas and all the things. Okay, we will discuss about its location, coordinates, surrounding countries, and boundaries the countries which are sharing boundary with India. So all that information we will cover here. And then after that. I will cover the information. I will cover the information relevant to physiographic divisions of India. Okay. I will cover the information relevant to the physiographic divisions of India. In that, I will cover six more major physiographic divisions. Like we have one physiographic division known as Himalayas, the Great Northern Plains, Great Indian Desert, Peninsular Plateau, and coastal plains and islands. So all that information I will cover here. So this is about physiographic divisions of India. Then again I will cover climate with respect to India. So we will discuss about how the monsoons existed in India, how the monsoons are occurring in India, when and where the monsoons are flowing in India. So all that information I will cover under this chapter. And after that I will discuss one more chapter called rivers. So we will see what are the rivers that were flowing, where they were flowing, what are the rivers flowing and where they were flowing the rivers. Clear. So this is the information I'm going to cover under this chapter. And after that, we will bifurcate the rivers on the basis of its flow and direction. Like some rivers are flowing towards western part, and some rivers are flowing towards eastern part. Clear. So all that information I will cover under the this rivers chapter. Then I will enter into agriculture. So under this agriculture, I will discuss about cropping seasons, different crops that were growing in India and its climatic conditions in its soils condition. All that information we will cover. Okay. And after that, after the completion of agriculture, we will enter into the industries. So under these industries, we will cover classification of industries and various industries that were located in India. Clear? Various industries that were located in India. Then we will enter into population. So under this population, we will cover the reasons for growth of the population and reasons for decline of the population. And also we will cover the important information like census 2011 data, census 2011 data. And after that, I will cover about communication as well as trade relevant to India. Clear? So this is what we are going to discuss under geography, under the title of geography. Clear? So this is the information. So I will cover under this chapter. So first, we are going to discuss about some basics which are necessary. So here I have mentioned here like atmosphere. What is atmosphere? So what is atmosphere? Atmosphere is nothing but atmosphere. What is atmosphere? So atmosphere is the air. I can write it as air. Whatever the air that was present above the surface of the earth. Whatever the air that was present above the surface of the earth, that is known as atmosphere. So this atmosphere composed of different gases. It composed of different gases. Like for example for gases are like nitrogen gas, oxygen gas, helium gas, neon gas, argon gas, carbon dioxide gas, methane gas. Okay, like nitrogen, oxygen, helium, neon, argon, carbon dioxide, methane gas, somewhat we have hydrogen gas as well. So these are the some of the gases that were present in the atmosphere. Like atmosphere is nothing but it is like air which was present on the surface of the earth. So these air composed of different gases in different compositions. Like I can write nitrogen, oxygen, helium, neon, argon, carbon dioxide, CH4, that is like methane and hydrogen and etc. And there are few many gases, but in the minor quantity. So like here, majority quantity is lies with nitrogen. Almost 78 percentage of gas was there in the atmosphere, and coming to oxygen, it was like 21 percentage. Means almost 99% of gases are composed by nitrogen as well as oxygen. Nitrogen and oxygen. Clear? So finally, what is atmosphere? Atmosphere is nothing but the air which we are surrounded. The air which we are surrounded on the surface of the earth. So composition of atmosphere are these are the gases. Clear? Like the atmosphere is a layer of gases surrounding earth, essential for life and climate regulation. So like what is the thing? So it is a layer of the gases which are surrounding the earth. Now we are in atmosphere only. We are in atmosphere only. Clear? We are a part of this atmosphere. So this atmosphere protects us from solar radiations. Clear? So like atmosphere is acting as a thick blanket. Here the atmosphere is acting as a thick blanket. It is acting as a thick blanket, and it is a protecting us from. It is a protecting both. So this atmosphere is protecting both flora and fauna. So thick blanket protecting flora and fauna. Clear? So from what? Ultraviolet rays, UV rays. We call it as UV rays. Ultraviolet rays. They have the types like ultraviolet rays A and ultraviolet rays B. So from these ultraviolet rays, we are protected by atmosphere. Like atmosphere is nothing but thick gases. Clear? So this is the point you have to keep in your mind. So what happens when UV rays directly hits us? Definitely our skin will be damaged. So whenever UV rays hits us, our skin will be damaged. Clear? So we may get cancer. We may get cancer as well. We may get cancer as well. So these are the effects and impacts due to the directly hitting of ultraviolet rays. Clear? And one more layer called biosphere. Of course, atmosphere has some more layers. We can write that. Like it has atmosphere has the layers like the layer which is very near to the earth, that was known as troposphere. The layer which is very near to the earth is known as troposphere. Above the troposphere, we have layer called stratosphere. Above stratosphere, we have layer called mesosphere. Above mesosphere, we have layer called thermosphere. Above the thermosphere, we have layer called exosphere. So these are the layers of the atmosphere. Of course, whenever I discuss about atmosphere and all the things, I will discuss about each and every layer. Okay, just it is like a basics. So that's why I'm sticking to the very few concepts. But in the direct classes, I will discuss in detail about each and every layer. Very important. And one more layer that is known as one more the definition that is like biosphere. What is a biosphere? Bio means living. So living things, the things which has a life, they can be called as biosphere. Wherever the living things are, wherever the living things are living, we can find the living things can be called as biosphere. Clear? So let me write one more layer like a hydrosphere. Hydrosphere means water. Hydrosphere means water. In our earth, we can find water almost 70 percentage, up to approximately almost 70 percentage. We have water on the earth. The remaining 20% is only land. The remaining 20% is land, and 71 percentage is water. So this water is in the form of oceans. This 71 percentage is in the form of oceans, is in the form of seas, is in the form of rivers, in the form of glaciers, in the form of humidity, in the form of groundwater, in the form of canals, in the form of streams, etc. In the form of streams and etc. Clear? So that is the information you have to keep in your mind. Clear? So like a hydrosphere is nothing but water, whatever the water that was present on the earth. This hydrosphere, this water can be written in the formula with the formula like H2O. And and one more layer we can call it as a lithosphere. One more layer we can call it as a lithosphere. Litho means rock. So the meaning for litho is rock. Litho can be written as rock. Like sphere means it was a, like a bounded place. Clear? Like lithosphere, rock. Like I can write instead of rock, I can write it as a earth is also. So finally, lithosphere is nothing but earth. Is nothing but rock. Is nothing but I can write it as soil. I can write it as soil. Clear. And already we have discussed about atmosphere. Already we have discussed about atmosphere. Atmosphere is nothing but air. Clear. So like the combination of atmosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere. The combination of hydrosphere, lithosphere, and atmosphere is they can create the biosphere. So biosphere is nothing but living things. Clear. For example, if it is atmosphere, it is like atmosphere. It is hydrosphere, and it was lithosphere. The place where the place where these three spheres interacts, there it led to the formation of living things. Means living things is nothing but biosphere. Living things is nothing but biosphere. So finally, what is biosphere? Biosphere is a living things. It is a place where living things are sustaining, living. Clear. So bio means life. Clear. So if any sphere misses from these three, there won't be any existence of biosphere. So definitely must and should, for the formation of biosphere, there should be a interaction of all these three spheres. If any spheres leave from this, then there won't be any existence of biosphere. So let me explain in detail. Like what is a hydrosphere? Water. So if there is no water on the earth, will the human beings will survive? Means if there is no human beings, there is no biosphere. So if there is no water on the earth, will the animals will survive? Will the plants and trees will survive? Definitely no. Clear. And with respect to atmosphere, means air. If there is no oxygen on the earth, will the human beings survive? Definitely no. If there is no human beings, no biosphere. No human beings, no biosphere. Clear. So that is the information you have to keep in your mind. Clear. At the same time, coming to lithosphere means the rock or earth. So if there is no soil, can we do the farming? If there is no earth, can we do the farming? Definitely no. We cannot do the farming. Clear. If there is no earth, we cannot do the farming. If we are not unable to do the farming, will we get any food? Definitely no. So we won't get any food. So if there is no food, how we will sustain? We cannot sustain. If there is no food, we cannot sustain. Means there won't be any biosphere. Clear. So that is the thing you have to keep in your mind. So finally, let me repeat each and everything. So what is atmosphere? Atmosphere is nothing but air that we are surrounded. So air has different gases like nitrogen, hydrogen, like that. And one more layer called hydrosphere. So what is a hydrosphere? Hydrosphere is nothing but water. So hydrosphere is nothing but water. And one more layer called lithosphere. So lithosphere is nothing but earth, soil, rock, like that. So a combination of all these three, we get one more sphere called biosphere. Combination of all these, we will get biosphere. Clear. And here, lithosphere has the three layers we will discuss later while I'm discussing about interior of the earth. Clear. So lithosphere. So this is the lithosphere. So this is a lithosphere. Like finally, our Earth. Our Earth has three layers. So our Earth has three layers. One layer. Our Earth has a three layers. One layer. So that one layer, the like the upper wala, the one above layer, that is known as the crust. One more layer we have mantle, and one more layer we have that can be called as core. And we have crust type. We have two different types of crust. One is a continental crust. One is a continental crust. Second one is like oceanic crust. Second one is like oceanic crust. In a similar way, with respect to the mantle, we have two layers. Oh, that is like upper mantle and inner mantle. Upper mantle as well as inner mantle. In between upper mantle and inner mantle, there was a one more layer which was known as asthenosphere, and core. Again, it has divided into outer core. It was divided into outer core as well as inner core. Clear? Outer core as well as inner core. So this is about the glands relevant to the lithosphere layers. We can call these all these layers as interior of the earth. Clear? So when I discuss about the main concept, I will discuss about each and every detail relevant to the crust, continental crust, oceanic crust, like that. Clear? Next, one more information we have to know that already we have done continental drift. So before knowing about continental drift, we have to know some information like that was like what was what was mountains. So mountain is a landmass, so which is above the surface area. So mountain is a landmass. So mountain is a landmass which is above the surface area and also in rugged form. Clear. So like mountain, nothing but, so mountain is a elevated landmass. So mountain was a elevated elevated landmass with ruggedness, with rugged, okay, with rug and continuous chains. Clear. So what is mountain? So mountain is a elevated landmass with a rugged and continuous chains. Like if you have seen mountains, the mountains will be like this. It was above the surface area, and it was like a continuous chains. It will be visible in the form of continuous chains. Clear. So here and one more thing. How these how these mountains were formed. Clear. So how these mountains were formed. So these mountains were formed due to these mountains were formed. What? For what? These mountains were formed due to the compression of the earth's plates. The mountains were formed due to the compression of two different landmass. So how the landmass were formed? How the landmass, like how the mountains were formed? These mountains were formed due to compression of the two different land masses. So that is one of the formation. And sometimes these mountains can be formed due to volcanic eruptions. This can be formed due to the volcanic eruptions. So whenever any volcanic material from the earth's surface comes out, so that lava will be deposited on the earth. So the deposition happens continuously. So due to that, we can find the structures like mountains. And one more method for formation of the mountains was known as compression. Compression of two different landmass, like a compression of two land masses, they can create mountains. So, right? So, this is how the mountains were formed. So, in coming to here, one force we have to know here, that is known as erosion. That is known as erosion. Like erosion is nothing but washing off the topmost layer of the earth's surface, or else I can write erosion means washing off topmost layer. So that is the meaning for erosion. Like erosion can be written as, I can write in the simpler way, like a removal of top layer. So that is no, this process is known as erosion. So what is erosion? The removal of the top layer. So whenever erosion happens on the mountains, whenever erosion happens on the mountains, so how they will be converted? They will be converted as plateaus. So like whenever erosion happens on the mountains, they can be converted as a plateaus. So like so previously it was like mountain. So because of erosion, the mountains can be eroded and they will be converted as, they will be appeared as plateaus. So what is plateau? Plateau is nothing but it is like the elevated tableland. Simply I can write it as plateau means, what is a plateau? Plateau means elevated tableland. That is known as plateau. And coming to here. So and again if the same erosion happens for the plateaus, and again if the same erosion happens for the plateaus, what will happen? These plateaus will be eroded and led to the formation of plains. Clear. One more layer is known as plains. So plains are nothing but they are the flatted land. So plains are like flatted lands. They're like the flatted land. Simply clear. So initially mountains were formed. So what is a mountain? What was the mountain? Elevated landmass with rugged and continuous chains. Clear. So this mountain was eroded because of various factors. Like here we can find some factors like air was one of the factor, weathering process was one of the factor. Clear. Weathering process was one of the factor. Water was one of the factor. Gravitational force was one of the factor. So because of all these factors, mountains were eroded. So as the erosion process happens continuously, as the erosion process happens continuously, what will happen here? They will convert it into a plateaus. So what is a plateau? Plateau is nothing but elevated tableland. Means it is like it is a landmass which is above the surface of the area, but its top will be like a flat. Coming to the mountains of here, top of the mountain is not a flat. It was like a rugged and continuous chains. But coming to the plateau, the topmost is like the topmost surface will be like a flat surface. Clear. For example for plateau is our Deccan Plateau. Now, as of now, we are living on this Deccan Plateau itself. So, how the Deccan Plateau was there? It was like elevated from the mean sea level, and it was in the form of flat with a flatness. That is known as the plateaus. Clear. And again, if the same erosion process happens on the plateau, it will be converted into plain areas. So, what is a plain area? It is a flat surface which is which is very near to the mean sea level. Clear. So let me draw the diagram once. Like this was the mountains. Because of erosion, it may convert it into plateau, and because of the same erosion, it may convert it into plain areas. So it is a, this is the definition. Clear. So that's what you have to keep in your mind. And coming to the word, let me discuss about continental drift. Let me write about continental drift. So, what is a continental drift? So, before knowing that, understand the meaning of drift. What is a drift? Drift is nothing but movement. The meaning for a drift is movement. What is a continent? The land mass. Like here, what is continental drift? Continental drift means movement of the continents. Simple thing. What is a continental drift? Continental drift means movement of the continents. So here, how the continents are moving? They are moving in three types. Like, let me write that. So these continents are moving in three types. Clear? They are moving in the form of three types. Let me write that. Clear? So let me write it. Like these continents, like continents are moving in three directions. One is in the form of convergent, like convergent. I will explain. Second one is known as divergent. Clear it? Call it as divergent. And third one, finally, third one can be called as transform. Can be called as transform. So let me explain each and about what is a convergent, what is divergent, and what is a transform. Clear? So let me take one paper, guys. So like this was one of the paper. So let me take one paper and I'll explain about it. See here. For example, for example, this was treated as one of continents, two different continents. Clear? So if these two continents move towards each other, if these two continents move towards each other, it can be called as convergent. So whenever convergent means two land masses are coming towards each other like this. One is from here like this. If they are coming towards like this, we call it as convergent boundary interaction. So whenever convergent boundary interaction is happening like this, observe it, clearly observe it. Okay. So whenever two land masses coming towards each other, you can find the elevated land, nothing but mountains. Clear. So whenever any two places merging, whenever any two land masses are coming towards each other, it led to the formation of mountains. So example for this type of mountains were Himalayas. So we are able to see Himalayas at northern part of India. So they were formed due to the convergence boundary interaction of Indian plate with the European plate. Clear? So like these Himalayas were formed due to the convergent boundary interaction. Like here, two different tectonic plates. One tectonic plate was Indian plate, and second tectonic plate was European plate. So these two tectonic plates were merged with each other. Two tectonic plates were merged with each other, led to the formation of Himalayas, the present Himalayas. So, and again, because of merging of two tectonic plates, the Tethys Sea was where? Tethys Sea was uplifted. That is the point you have to know here. Clear. So finally, what is convergent? Convergent is nothing but the interaction, the movement, like the interaction of two tectonic plates. Next. So like what is a divergent? So let me write here. Convergent means the interaction, or else I can indicate with arrows. Like two plates are coming towards each other, led to the formation of mountains. And second one is known as divergent. So divergent means here tectonic plates are moving away. Here, two different tectonic plates are moving away. That is known as divergent. So, whenever any tectonic plates move towards away from each other, like it was a tectonic plate. So, this was one tectonic plate, and these two tectonic plate. And see, observe here, there was one tectonic plate, and it was second tectonic plate. Here, these two plates are moving away from each other like this. See here. So these are this was the initial position and it moved away from each other like this. moved away from like this. Clear. So that is the point. Clear. So like divergent means the plates are tectonic plates are moving from each other. That is known as divergent. So whenever these divergent boundary interaction is happening in between two tectonic plates, there we can find the formation of valley-like structures. Here like we can find valleys. Above one we can find mountains. Coming to transform boundary interaction. Coming to the transform boundary interaction. Clear. So one thing you have to keep in your mind that what is a transform means two different plates are sliding. Clear. So transform means one plate is going away in this way, and second plate is coming in this way. Like this is the how these two tectonic plates interact like this way. In the previous like convergent in the convergent boundary interaction, two plates moved in this direction. In divergent boundary interaction, two plates moved away from like this, moved away. But coming to transform, what is happening? They are moving like this. The previous times, the previous two, they were like this. Now it is like this. Like if two tectonic plates moved in opposite directions like this, so it led to the formation. Like let me write the direction like this. In this situation, if the plates are moving like this, in this situation, we can find the formation of block mountains. We can find the formation of block mountains, and also we can find the formation of, sometimes it may lead to the formation of mountains as well. Clear. Sometimes it may lead to the formation of mountains as well. Clear. So these are the some basics relevant to the movements of the continents. These are the basics relevant to the movement of the continents. Clear. And uh, and after that we have to learn one word, the major word. So let me explain that. Okay, so let me write. So with respect to the continental drift, we have to learn one more word, that is like Pangia, Panthalasa. Pangia and Panthalasa. With respect to the continental drift, we have to know these words. So what is a Pangia? So Pangia is nothing but super continent. So supercontinent, like Pangaea is nothing but supercontinent. What is supercontinent? The total landmass which was present on the earth. The total landmass, the total landmass present on the earth, present on the earth. It was known as Pangaea. Clear? So like whenever around 225 million years ago, the continents were at the same place. Clear? So yes, at present, as of now, this our entire landmass was split into 7 continents. But around 225 million years ago, all these landmass was presented at one place. Clear? The total landmass was present at one place. That total landmass which was present at one place, that was known as Pangaea. In another term, we can call it as a supercontinent. Clear? And one more word like Panthalasa. It is a word given for. It is a word given for super ocean. It was a word given for super ocean. Like a super ocean, nothing but like the water, the total water present on the present on the earth. Like we know that whatever the water that was there on the earth, that was known as Panthalasa. So like now, as of now, we have this water in the form of 5 oceans and many seas. And the same water is in the form of rivers, lakes, streams, but not whatnot, everything clear. So, like this is about Panthalasa. And again, this Pangia, as the time passes, this Pangia was split into two parts. One was known as Laurasia, and the second one was known as Gondwana land. Clear? So Pangaea was split into Laurasia and Gondwana land. So this Laurasia was belongs to North Hemisphere. Like Laurasia belongs to North Hemisphere, and Gondwana land belongs to South Hemisphere, or we can write it as Southern Hemisphere. We can write it as Southern Hemisphere. So that's what you have to keep in your mind. Clear? So these are the basic terms relevant to the continental drift. So finally, what is a continental drift? Drift is nothing but movement of the continents. And after later we will discuss why these movements were happening, what were the reasons for movement of these continents. We will discuss later in the mains classes. Clear? And one more word, tectonic plates. So, what is a tectonic plate? See, my dear students, our entire Earth was split into the some plates. Clear? Like for example, our India, the entire India was known as Indian plate. Africa was known as African plate. North America continent, it was known as North American continent. Okay, so like what is a plate tectonic? What is a plate tectonic? Plate tectonic is nothing but, so these are the plates on the earth. The plate tectonics nothing but plates on the earth which can move in all directions, which can move in all directions. Clear? So plate tectonic is nothing but movement of the plates. So tectonic is nothing but movement in all the directions. So here plate tectonics, plates are moving in all the directions. Clear? So that is known as plate tectonics. As I discussed it in the previous slide, like Pangea. So Pangea, nothing but supercontinent. So the entire Pangea, like a Pangea supercontinent, the entire Pangea was splitted into the parts. That splitted parts were known as plate, tectonic plate. Clear? So like as of now, you can see here, like these are the plates. Example for plates are like you can write here North America plate, North America plate, South America plate, Cocoa plate, clear, African plate, Arabian plate. Next after that we have Indian plate, Antarctica plate, Australian plate. We have this type of plates. Clear. Simpler way. So tectonic is nothing but movement of the plate. What is a plate? Plate is a landmass which was there on the earth. Clear. So these plates are moving. These plates are moving in all the directions. Clear. And reason for the movement of these tectonic plates, there was a layer called astrosphere. So because of huge temperatures in astrosphere, because of huge temperature, because of huge pressure, because of huge temperature and because of huge pressure, this astrosphere, because of huge temperature and huge pressure in astrosphere, what is happening, the plates are moving these plates are moving in all the directions. Clear? So this is what plate tectonics. In the upcoming class, in the next class, we will cover some more important definitions relevant to our geography.